All right, in this problem, we're given the function y equals cosine of theta divided by 3 plus 1. And we're asked to find the amplitude, period, phase shift, and vertical shift, and then to graph the function. So starting off, the amplitude is going to be the number out here in front of the sine or cosine. Since there's no number in front of this cosine, we know that we're multiplying by 1. And so our amplitude is 1. The period, to find the period, it's the normal period for a sine or cosine function, which is 2 pi, divided by b. We said that b was the number that we're multiplying theta by. So it's here, if we've got theta divided by 3, that's the same as theta multiplied by 1/3. So our b is 1/3. So our period is going to be 2 pi divided by 1/3. That's the same as 2 pi time. Remember that division is the same as multiplication by the reciprocal. So 2 pi divided by 1/3 is the same as 2 pi times 3, which is 6 pi. So our period is going to be 6 pi. Our phase shift, that's the horizontal shift that comes from adding or subtracting some number inside the parentheses. There's no parentheses on this, so our phase shift is just 0. And then our vertical shift is going to be what we're adding to the entire function, adding or subtracting from the entire function. Here we're adding 1, so we're going to be shifting our function up 1. So our vertical shift is plus 1. All right, now let's graph it. So to start off with, let's graph our midline. The midline for a cosine function is normally right at the x-axis, but we've shifted it up 1. So our midline is now going to be at y equals 1. So we'll draw a dotted line there for the midline. Next, cosine starts at the maximum. And so our maximum here is going to be the vertical shift plus the amplitude. So 1 plus 1. So we're going to start at 2. That's our maximum. And then we're always going to be back to the same place after 1 period. So if we start here at 2, after 1 period of 6 pi, we're going to be back to 2. So clear out here at 6 pi, we're going to be back to our maximum of 2. Halfway in between these 2 points, so if we're at 0 and 6 pi, halfway between would be at 3 pi, we're going to reach our minimum, which is our vertical shift minus our amplitude. So 1 minus 1, which would be 0. So we're going to reach our minimum right here, our minimum of 0 right there at 3 pi. And then halfway between our maximum and minimum, we're going to cross the midline. So going both ways, we're going to cross the midline halfway between the maximum and minimum. Now that we've got those 5 points, we're going to draw this smooth curve for the cosine. And that, of course, will continue going in both directions, just like that forever. I just need you to show 1 period.